Welcome! As a first little project which will be recursive every 2 weeks, I focus on applying knowledge I got from an extensive geometry node course from Ducky 3D on YouTube. Like I said, every 2 weeks I'll try to debunk my brain by creating shareable little projects. You see, I'm a narrative kind of guy. Everything I create has to mean something, and for your enjoyment, it has to tell a story. You can check out a video on my channel by clicking on the link on top. If I had to give myself a rating, boring out of 10. I mean, I'm proud of it because I managed to build my first ever complex reusable geometry nodes by myself. But the video itself, I mean, yeah, it could be a little boring. I got inspired by my video topic from last week, which was on perfectionism. The millions of cubes and their synchronized marching represents a perfect world. Anywhere they go, they roll together, they slam together, they fly together, they shine together, they die together. Even the music is perfectly synced to them. I say perfectly synced because I tried. See, I'm the one doing the soundtrack, aka the music for my videos, so you'll have to be a little bit patient and endure my atrocity while I try to improve. The climax of the story is the cube landing on the screw, the anomaly, the subject that defies the perfect world to create something different. That's when the ball comes in. It's a circle compared to like squares. It's free from the handcuffs, free from carrying the infinite steps the cube in front drops along. I mean, it's not hard to understand what happens in the story, but that's the beauty of it, or at least a beauty, because let's be honest, it's simple shapes doing a simple thing and we still get a lesson out of it. Now, it might look simple, but let me tell you that for me, it wasn't the case. See, this is why I spent many hours on this project, figuring out how to make as many cubes as I want, to march in the direction that I want. Did I mention that this was my first personal complex geometry nodes that I crafted? Because this really, it ain't that complicated, to be honest. This is not a tutorial, so I won't show how I did it exactly, but for those who want to copy it, here's a freeze frame. All I made is distribute rows on a curve and instance cubes along these rows. Then I only had to animate the rows to give the impression that the cubes are rolling over. The catch is that with 3D softwares like Blender, there's no easy way to animate simple things like this. There's no AI to do this for me, at least that I know of. Sure, I used ChatGPT to help me here and there, but I didn't even need his help in the first place. You'll see why in a minute. I make my life really hard for some reason. To make the cubes move, I rotate the rows on the Y translation to go forward, the Z translation to make them jump over the corners, and the X rotation to make the cube rotate. For this kind of continuous information that repeats over time, it's useful to write a formula on which the translation or the rotation occurs at the right speed and rhythm. So I asked ChatGPT to help me write these formulas, but he can only understand a limited amount of context. He can't see what I need. He can't see my brain. I went so far into using him, I reached the daily conversation limit. I made use of Google and Reddit to find the exact formulas for my cycling motion of cube rolling. I was so deep into trying to solve this simple issue. I even installed Desmos, for God's sake. Anyone know this app? If you know it, I'm sorry. Really sorry. After a while, I lost hope until my stupid brain remembered that I don't even need to know complex formulas since Blender has a graph editor. This means I can create my little graphs just by playing with my little handles like that. Blender does all the big boys calculation behind the scenes, or should I say behind the screen, and I don't have to worry about it. Hours just down the drain, just trying to solve this. But hey, at least I'm sure I won't forget about this anymore. Not until my hippocampus gets punctured by a 12-inch bolt, at least that's for sure. From here, it was smooth sailing. Animating the ball wasn't too complex since it's just a ball rolling. The explosion, the materials are all very simple things that didn't need too much attention. I like learning about cryptomats to composite objects onto backgrounds. Compositing is really satisfying, to be honest, even for the little things. The challenge I had was to make the room feel large while seeing many more millions of cubes in the scene. And I tried to play with the mist, but I never got the slide phase I wanted. The background just ended up looking washed out. So I just removed the mist effect. I think my mistake was due to me placing my background elements way too far in the background, like 18,000 meters too far. So there was a lot of mist between the foreground element and the background element. I didn't have a lot of time for this project, so I had to move on. To conclude, I have to be careful with the ambition of my projects by setting myself a time limit like every 2 weeks. Not only will this keep me accountable to unfinished projects, but I will also get a better sense of what I can accomplish in a specific amount of time. If you haven't already, go check out my little animation on my channel. It should be the previous or the next video. I just posted them both at the same time. So go check it out.